Yandere Simulator has been in development since 2014. It is one of the most fascinating things on the internet. The game has become infamous for how little progress has been made on the actual game, despite being in development since 2014. The developer of Yandere Simulator is known as Yandere Dev, and he posted about his dream of making a Hitman-style Yandere Simulator on 4chan in 2014. The game itself is split up by rivals, and there are going to be a total of 10 in the final game. Each week you get a different rival who plans to confess their love to Senpai, and you must stop them, whether that be through murder, tricking them into suicide, torture, expulsion, kidnapping. Really anything goes, and as the game goes on, the rivals become harder to kill, and the methods that you use determine the outcome that you get. The more violent you are, the worse the ending becomes. Yandere Dev has a YouTube channel where they've been posting updates about the game since its initial development. Early on, it seemed like steady progress was being made on the game, and the concept drew people in. Obviously, since Yandere Dev is the only person working on the game, progress on the game overall was very slow, but at the time it was steady, and soon a playable demo was made publicly available. With the release of the public demo, the game eventually caught the eye of several gaming YouTubers, causing even more attention to be brought to the game, and by 2016, Yandere Dev's channel had reached 1 million subscribers. Over time, the game had many volunteers helping out with the project, mostly providing art and voice work for the game, and Yandere Dev also has a Patreon to help fund progress on the game. Things seemed to be going well at first, but progress was still very slow. As time went on, more people began to ask questions about the slow progress on the game and, when's the game coming out? To give you an idea of how slow progress has been on the game, the first rival wasn't completed until August of 2020. Keep in mind, the game started development in 2014 and reached its peak in YouTube popularity around 2015, 2016, and also, the second rival hasn't even been started as of the making of this video. My guy, it is 2023. I get that Yandere Dev is one person trying to make a game, but, well, let's get into it. It probably won't surprise you to learn that Yandere Dev is a controversial figure. With the slow progress on the game, some people took to trying to create their own Yandere Simulator, and Yandere Dev was not a fan of people making their own game. So he went as far as to say that his mental health might be impacted if these devs continue work on their game. He has also been known to contact other devs directly and ask them to stop working on their game, and even accuse them of directly ripping off assets from Yandere Simulator for their games. Obviously, Yandere Dev does not like competition, and this is most likely due to the fact that he knows this game is barely being held together. Yandere Simulator is notorious for having code that is very poorly written. The game has trouble running even on higher-end computers. There are many videos going over the code. Here are some clips.
An if statement is a conditional statement where the program and computer will check and make sure and take the memory time to process the information and say, hey, wait, is this true? Yes or no? If it's not true, they skip over it. If it is true, they execute everything inside of the brackets. So, with all of these if statements within a code, right, every single if statement in his line of code is checked by the computer.
Ah!
Oh! Oh my god, they're actually the same thing on every single segment.
Wait, it is! Oh my god!
Oh my lord. I was not prepared for that.
Oh my god!
Every single finger.
Pinky fingers?
3 pinky fingers.
Index 1, index 2, index 3. How
Is that every digit of your fingers?
Now let's move away from controversy surrounding Yandere Dev and instead focus on controversy that just involves the game itself. Now obviously the game is controversial for its violence and sexual content, and I can forgive that. That's why you're playing the game to begin with. It's the main selling point of the game. However, there are some things that I just can't excuse. Now, there is a disclaimer at the beginning of the game saying that all characters are assumed to be 18 plus. A disclaimer does nothing if a character in your game is perceived to be a child and one of the proposed rivals is the little sister of Senpai. When it comes to violent video games, there's a reason that children are rarely ever seen, and in the rare cases they are, you typically cannot harm them. Considering this game features murder, torture, suicide, and sexual content, why the fuck is there a child proposed to be one of the main rivals in this game?
Welcome home, big brother! How was your day? Tell me all about it!
This is a game where one of the main mechanics is giving panty shots to a random stranger in exchange for more info. I don't care that there's a fucking disclaimer. That is fucking weird. Granted, the character has not yet been implemented in the game, but the fact that they're even proposed to be one of the rivals and they're featured in a trailer that shows off the rivals, I don't even know what to say. Yandere Dev claims that he wants to go for an M rating. If this is still the case, I highly recommend never putting this character in the game. Let's talk about money. Did you know that he also sells merch? Everything from t-shirts, hoodies, posters, body pillows, mugs can be purchased, funneling more money to Yandere Dev. Obviously, I don't fault him for having a merch store, but I can fault him for this statement he has on his Patreon. My guy, the crowdfunding has already begun. There are people giving you money to complete this project. That is the definition of crowdfunding. What do you mean? It is obvious that Yandere Dev knows that this game makes more money as an incomplete product. Despite all the controversy and slow progress, there are still people willing to spend money on the development of this product. Credit where credit is due. The idea of Yandere Simulator is a good one. It got people hooked. There was a point where even I was excited for this game, but it's been years since the start of development, and the second rival hasn't even been started. Now, the reason for the slowness, according to Yandere Dev, is because of the time he puts into responding to fans and making content. I feel like early on, Yandere Dev became too distracted by the attention the game was getting. He spent a lot of time responding to fans and adding memes and additional modes that really don't need to be in the game. He also spends a lot of time focusing on and making YouTube content rather than in-game content. Now, I had originally planned to play the current version of Yandere Simulator. I went into the game with an open mind and was genuinely curious where the game is in 2023. The game kept crashing. The game can't even handle the barest of minimums. It crashed on a frickin' pause menu. I tried several times to make progress in this game to no avail. It is incredibly frustrating because it's not like I have a potato of a computer. I've run games like Elden Ring with no problem, and yet I can't run Yandere Simulator. And currently, the PC version is the only one that exists, so you would think that it would work on PC. Why does this game require a NASA-level computer to run? I will say, from what I did play of the game, I think the game has a ton of potential. I could see it having a ton of replay value with the different elimination methods that exist. And also, the game has amazing presentation. Yandere Dev has always done well with presentation, and I think that's what makes this game so interesting to begin with. I think the menu looks good, and I think the intro cutscene looks good, but what's the point of any of this if the game doesn't even run? There's a lot to say about the development of Yandere Simulator, but I do want to end the video on a more positive note. Obviously, this video and others like it don't make Yandere Dev look like a great person. He has done some bad things in the past, and we should all be given the opportunity to grow and change. At the end of the day, I would love to see this game be completed, and despite all the criticism and videos being made about him, Yandere Dev still continues to work on this game. I'm sure he feels a lot of stress having the internet very closely judge his every move while working on this game. I can definitely give him a lot of credit for sticking through it. While there is a chance he's only stringing people along, let's be honest, I'm sure a part of him wants to see the game be finished. If you look at his channel, you can see that he hasn't been uploading nearly as much, and according to his latest video, he's been working on improvements to the game. Much of the controversy with this game is stuff that happened in the past, and while, again, he should be held accountable, people can change and should be allowed to change, and, again, I really do hope this game gets completed someday. There is still a lot of potential with this game, and I would love to see it come to be. Anyway, that's all I really have to say about Yandere Simulator. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, and I also stream on Twitch every now and then, so feel free to stop by. I'd love to see you there. Anyway, I hope you're having a good day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.